Welcome. This walkthrough will teach you the basics of editing on OpenStreetMap. All of the data in this walkthrough is just for practicing, and any edits that you make in the walkthrough will not be saved. This walkthrough will introduce some new words and concepts. When we introduce a new word, we'll use italics. You can use any input device to edit the map, but this walkthrough assumes you have a mouse with left and right buttons. If you want to attach a mouse, do so now, then click OK. When this tutorial asks you to click or double-click, we mean with the left button. On a trackpad, it might be a single click or a single finger tap. Left click 5 times. Right click. Sometimes we'll also ask you to right click. This might be the same as control click or 2 finger tap on a trackpad. Your keyboard might even have a menu key that works like right click. Right click 5 times. So far, so good. You can use the buttons below to skip chapters at any time or to restart a chapter if you get stuck. Let's begin. Click Navigation to continue. The main map area shows OpenStreetMap data on top of a background. You can drag the map by pressing and holding the left mouse button while moving the mouse around. You can also use the keys on your keyboard. Drag the map. Okay, let's see. Hold the left mouse button while moving the mouse. You can zoom in or out by scrolling with the mouse wheel or trackpad, or by clicking the plus minus buttons. Zoom the map. We use the word features to describe the things that appear on the map. Anything in the real world can be mapped as a feature on OpenStreetMap. Map features are represented using points, lines, or areas. In OpenStreetMap, points are sometimes called nodes, and lines and areas are sometimes called ways. Points are called nodes, lines and areas are called ways. All features on the map can be selected by clicking on them. Click on the point to select it. Great. The point is now selected. Selected features are drawn with a pulsating glow. When a feature is selected, the feature editor is displayed alongside the map. The top part of the feature editor shows the feature's type. This point is a town hall. The middle part of the feature editor contains fields showing the feature's attributes, such as its name and address. Close the feature editor by hitting Escape or pressing the X button in the upper corner. You can also search for features in the current view or worldwide. Search for Spring Street. Choose Spring Street from the list to select it. Great. Spring Street is now selected. The fields shown for a street are different than the fields that were shown for the town hall. For this selected street, the feature editor shows fields like one-way and speed limit. Close the feature editor by hitting Escape or pressing the X button. Try moving the map and clicking on some other features to see what kinds of things can be added to OpenStreetMap. When you are ready to continue to the next chapter, click Points. Points can be used to represent features such as shops, restaurants, and monuments. They mark a specific location and describe what's there. Click the Point button to add a new point. To place the new point on the map, position your mouse cursor where the point should go. Then left-click or press the space bar. Move the mouse pointer over this building, then left-click or press the space bar. There are many different features that can be represented by points. The point you just added is a cafe. Search for cafe. The point is now marked as a cafe. Using the feature editor, we can add more information about the cafe. In OpenStreetMap, all of the fields are optional, and it's okay to leave a field blank if you're unsure. Let's pretend that you have local knowledge of this cafe and you know its name. Add a name for the cafe. The feature editor will remember all of your changes automatically. When you are finished adding the name, hit Escape, Enter, or click the check button to close the feature editor. Check button. There. Often points will already exist, but have mistakes often points will already exist but have mistakes or be incomplete. We can edit existing points. Click to select the cafe you just created. Let's fill in some more details for this cafe. You can change its name, add a cuisine, or add an address. Change the cafe's details. When you are finished updating the cafe, hit Escape, Enter, or click the check button to close the feature editor. Check marks up on the left here. You can right-click on any feature to see the Edit menu, which shows a list of editing operations that can be performed. Right-click to select the point you created and show the Edit menu. It's okay to delete features that don't exist in the real world. Deleting a feature from OpenStreetMap removes it from the map that everyone uses, so you should make sure a feature is really gone before you delete it. Click on the garbage can button to delete the point. You can always undo any changes up until you save your edits to OpenStreetMap. Click on the backward button that's up a little bit to the right of the middle. Click the backward button to undo the delete and get the point back. Now that you know how to create and edit points, try creating a few more points for practice. When you are ready to continue to the next chapter, click Areas. Areas are used to show the boundaries of features like lakes, buildings, and residential areas. They can also be used for more detailed mapping of many features you might normally map as points. All right, click the box-shaped area button to add new areas. So that's towards the middle there. Let's add this playground to the map by drawing an area. Areas are drawn by placing nodes along the outer edge of the feature. Click or press spacebar to place a starting node on one of the corners of the playground. That's the space bar. Continue drawing the area by placing more nodes along the playground's edge. It is okay to connect the area to the existing walking paths. Tip: you can hold down the Alt key to prevent nodes from connecting to other features. Continue drawing an area for the playground. Whoops, I didn't do that quite right, but I accidentally hit the mouse instead of the space. And then I hit space. All right, search for playground. Choose playground from the list. This playground doesn't have an official name, so we won't add anything in the name field. Instead, let's add some additional details about the playground to the description field. Open the Add Field list. Choose Description from the list. Add a description, then click the checkmark button to close the feature editor. Good job. Try drawing a few more areas and see what other kinds of area features you can add to OpenStreetMap. When you are ready to continue to the next chapter, click Lines. Line. Lines are used to represent features such as roads, railroads, and rivers. Click that looks like a line segment. Click the line button to add a new line. It's up at the top. Here is a road that is missing. Let's add it. In OpenStreetMap, lines should be drawn down the center of the road. You can drag and zoom the map while drawing if necessary. Start a new line by clicking at the top end of this missing road. Click or press spacebar to add more nodes to the line. Roads and many other types of lines are part of a larger network. It is important for these lines to be connected properly in order for routing applications to work. Click on Flower Street to create an intersection connecting the two lines. Continue drawing the line for the new road. Remember that you can drag and zoom the map if needed. When you are finished drawing, click on the last node again. Select road features from the list. There are many different types of roads, but this one is a residential road. Choose the residential road type. Give this road a name, then hit Escape, Enter, or click the checkmark button to close the feature editor. Looks good. Next, we will learn how to update the shape of a line. Sometimes you will need to change the shape of an existing line. Here is a road that doesn't look quite right. We can add some nodes to this line to improve its shape. One way to add a node is to double-click the line where you want to add a node. Double-click on the line to create a new node. When a line is selected, you can drag any of its nodes by clicking and holding down the left mouse button while you drag. Drag the endpoint to the place where these roads should intersect. When a line is selected, you can drag any of its nodes by clicking and holding down the left mouse button while you drag. Drag the endpoint to the place where these roads should intersect. Small triangles are drawn at the midpoints between nodes. Another way to create a new node is to drag a midpoint to a new location. Drag the midpoint triangle to create a new node along the curve of the road. see a new node along the curve. There's a little curve right about there. This line is looking much better. Continue to adjust this line by double-clicking or dragging midpoints until the curve matches the road shape. When you're happy with how the line looks, click OK. It's okay to delete lines for roads that don't exist in the real world. Here's an example where the city planned a 12th Avenue but never built it. We can improve this part of the map by deleting the extra lines. The last real street is 11th Avenue. So we will split Washington Street at this intersection and remove everything above it. Right-click on the intersection node. Click on the scissors button to split Washington Street. Good job. Washington Street is now split into two pieces. The top part can be removed. Click the top part of the Washington Street to select it. Washington Street is now selected. Let's also select 12th Avenue. You can shift-click to select multiple things. Shift-click on 12th Avenue. Good. Both lines to delete are now selected. Right-click on one of the lines to show the Edit menu. Click on the Garbage Can button to delete the extra lines. Great. Use the skills that you've learned in this chapter to practice editing some more lines. When you are ready to continue to the next chapter, click Buildings. OpenStreetMap is the world's largest database of buildings. You can help improve this database by tracing buildings that aren't already mapped. Click the square area button to add a new area. That's at the top. Let's add this house to the map by tracing its outline. Buildings should be traced around their footprint as accurately as possible. Click or press spacebar to place a starting node on one of the corners of the building. Continue to add more nodes to trace the outline of the building. Remember that you can zoom in if you want to add more details. Finish the building by pressing Enter or clicking again on either the first or last node. Hitting the space bar to select the nodes. Continue adding more nodes to trace the outline of the building. Remember that you can zoom in if you want to add more details. Finish the building by pressing Enter or clicking again on either the first or last node. Finish tracing the building. It looks like you had some trouble placing the nodes at the building corners. Try again. All right, let's see. You're now ready to edit OpenStreetMap. You can replace this walkthrough anytime. You can replay this walkthrough anytime or view more documentation by clicking the question mark help button or pressing the H key. You can view a list of commands along with their keyboard shortcuts by pressing the question mark key. Don't forget to regularly save your changes. Start mapping.